Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Mally Rosado, and I am the Council President for the Court of Common Council of the City of Hartford, and I am calling to order this regularly scheduled meeting of Monday, September 27th, 2021, to order. For those of you who are viewing us this evening, you can do so by viewing us on Facebook through our Hartford Public Access Facebook page. You can also view us through channel 96 of Comcast and 6032 of Frontier. With that said, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll for this evening's meeting?
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Present.
Councilman Clark. Councilman Gale.
Here.
Councilman LeBron.
Present.
Councilman Mitchum.
Present.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Present.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Councilman Sanchez.
Present.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. And for the record, we are also joined by our Corporation Counsel, Mr. Howard Rifkin, and also also from the Town Clerk's office, Mr. Eric Lusa, and members of the Hartford Public Access TV. With that being said, Mr. Clerk, could you please lead us on to the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And before we start our meeting, I am now turning over the floor to Councilwoman Wildalis Bermudez, who has a point of privilege for this evening. Councilwoman Bermudez, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Council President. We wanted to recognize the amazing exemplary work of one of our Hartford heroes, Val Bryant. Sometimes we look at folks in the community who are longtime residents and we see them doing amazing deeds. And oftentimes the deeds that they do they do it in quiet. They do it with love, with passion. They do it with dedication to help our city, to help our families, to help our children, our students. And they do it very humbly. They do it without wanting any recognition, but we thought it was very important to recognize Val Bryant. And she is with us today, and we wanted to read the following, which is a citation. We want to thank you, Val, for your amazing exemplary efforts of beautifying and nurturing the city of Hartford, one garden at a time. Your work planting flowers and fresh vegetables in our schools and community gardens has tremendously improved our city. We thank you for the work that you've done at Annie Fisher Montessori Magnet and so many other schools, and for the vision and passion that you have to make Hartford more sustainable and more vibrant for everybody, and for improving the lives of the people living in it. So on behalf of the city, we thank you. We also want to allow you some time to speak as well. Thank you, Val.
Oh, thank you very, very much for recognizing me with this citation. I'm most appreciative of your celebrating the importance of beautification, and even more important, I think, is growing healthy food in Hartford. In addition to thanking all of you who are present tonight, I want to thank the many organizations, including Hartford Food System, Keeney Park Sustainability Project, Knox, and Hartford Public Schools Food and Nutrition Services, as well as the many individuals who are involved in providing beautification and garden education to Hartford students about growing and eating healthy food. The vegetable, herb, and flower garden in the front of Annie Fisher STEM and Annie Fisher Montessori schools would not have been possible without the support of Vivian Novo McDonald, principal of Annie Fisher Montessori, and Dr. Joanna Alley, Hartford Public Schools Director of STEM Education. Thank you to both of them. I reached out to them, and with their support, I was able to reestablish these gardens which are available to students for education and enjoyment, and to harvest and donate some of the vegetables to Hands-On Hartford, which provides nutritious meals to needy Hartford residents. I hope that every Hartford student will have the opportunity to have a hands-on gardening experience at a Hartford school. I will continue to work toward this goal and know that through collaboration, we can make it happen. Thank you again for recognizing me, and thank you for all your work for the City of Hartford.
Thank you, Valerie, for everything that you do on a daily basis and for giving back so much to the Hartford residents in our community. We will now continue with our council meeting. You may stay on if you'd like, or if you—
Council President, may I just ask Ms. Bright one simple question?
Sure, go ahead.
With all the rain and stuff, how did you get vegetables to give away? Because I tried so hard this summer and all my vegetables.
Well, you know, the rain is a mixed blessing. Some things like it and some things don't. But it made my life easier at Annie Fisher STEM and Montessori schools because I didn't have to go over there and connect the hose and water the beds very often. I just relied on Mother Nature, and she helped me out a lot. But in terms of my community garden, I wouldn't exactly call it beautiful. And there are a number of things that did not grow well because of too much rain. But I think we had good drainage at the school gardens, and it was mulched well, so the moisture stayed in there, so that it didn't dry out. And, you know, they're flourishing. So that's all I can say. You know, it's a gift. It's not something you can always count on, but when it flourishes and we have abundance, we're very grateful.
Well, thank you so very much. And I'm coming over next season to learn the secret so I can do a better gardening at my home, okay? So thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes, I personally want to thank you, Valerie, for everything that you've done for our students. I believe in gardening. I believe in planting, you know, from seedlings or even little plants that you can get at the farmer's market to create a garden for yourself. I also believe in flowers, you know, because, you know, I learned everything from my parents. My mother was a flower person. My father was a vegetable and fruit person. I think it's amazing that what you're doing to teach our students, our young children, the importance of growing your own produce and, you know, enjoying from that. You know, there's so many folks out there that just don't either have the time or understand the importance of just having even just one tomato plant in your apartment in a 5-gallon barrel, right? So, you know, we're talking about going back to our basics, our survival, our understanding of nature, the importance of it, and what we can create from one seed. I think that creation into a plant, into a fruit, is equivalent to what we can learn in life and adapt to other things. You know, so I thank you so much for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Are there any other comments? There being none, Valerie, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this evening, Councilman Sanchez will be covering for our majority leader. So with that said, Councilman Sanchez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. And through you, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of August 9, 2021 and September 13th, 2021 meeting.
I second the motion.
A motion has been made and properly seconded by Councilman LeBron. Are there any discussions on the minutes? Any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti. Councilwoman Rossetti.
Adopted, yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councilman Sanchez, you have the floor.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion through you, Madam President, to put the following item on the consent calendar, which is item number 7.1.
I second the motion.
A motion has been made and properly second. And for the record, Councilman Sanchez, could you please read what the consent item is?
Absolutely. So I have to bring it up. I had difficulty with my laptop.
That's okay.
Okay, I believe I have it here. So 7.1, my apologies. It's a resolution for Indigenous People Day in Hartford.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Sanchez. So a motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Councilman Mixtum.
Thank you, Madam President. Councilman Sanchez, briefly, I want to say that I'm glad we're taking this up. I'm glad we're all on board for it. And I think it's overdue, and I don't mean to say that in terms of us having gone through the process with our commission to study the question, but overdue in a much bigger historical sense that goes beyond the last year. And I'm glad to see all of us recognizing the historical realities and trying to take a step in the right direction in terms of how we interact with the history of our country and our city. So I'm just glad we're doing it.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes, I noticed that both Council President, your name is not on this resolution as it should have been, and my name also. I would like to include my name on this consent, on this item. I did put in a request to add my name, but it's not on there. And I know from our discussion, you have requested your name to be put on this.
That is correct, Councilman Sanchez. So, Mr. Clerk, if you could also add my name to the resolution.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Gale.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just like to second Councilman Mictum's comments and bring this really home. This past Friday, I had the opportunity to go to the Pequot Museum in Ledyard, Connecticut. If other council members have not had the opportunity to visit this museum, I strongly encourage everyone, as well as all of our constituents. It's a wonderful museum that provides you with the history of Native Americans in Connecticut, Southern New England, and it goes back 15,000 years and brings you forward to the present. It's extremely well done, and I think it will give everyone a much greater appreciation of the Indigenous peoples in Connecticut, and you know, to some extent, I mean, certainly the great contribution that they made, but to some extent, the great harm, the great wrongs that have been done to some of these folks over the years. But in any event, a very well worth trip. Thank you.
Are there any other discussions? Councilwoman Bermudez?
And just wanted to briefly echo on what Councilman Mictum already stated, but I'm also very glad that this resolution is being taken up on consent for Indigenous Peoples Day in Hartford, following suit of other organizations that we have here in the city, including the Hartford Public Library and also our neighboring towns. So I'm just very appreciative of all the work that was put into this, in addition to all the surveys and the community feedback that was received through one of the task force. So I thank you very much for supporting all of this unanimously.
Wonderful. Councilman LeBron?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief on this item as we all consented. I want to state and I want to thank all the members of the Columbus Task Force that took on the project, not only discussing this resolution and its value and what it means to our city, but other items as it relates to Columbus. And, you know, there were a lot of people, and Councilwoman Rossetti in particular, by co-chairing this task force and taking this project on. There was a lot of consternation. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of people involved. And I want to thank the community and the task force members for being as objective as possible and staying focused on the task at hand. And so part of that, the task force, the recommendation, by far, the leading thing that came out of that task force was changing Columbus to Indigenous people. That was by far across all sections, all people, age, gender. And so I'm happy to support this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman LeBron. Are there any other discussions? Any other discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councilman Sanchez, you have the floor.
You, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to refer the following items. Item number 3.1, which is Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing and empowered as follows: to apply for and accept the grant for the State of Connecticut in the amount of $10 million for the capital improvement of Batterson Park, M2021-023-. Resolution concerning Batterson Park, PDF 211-213. Item number 3.2, Mayor Bronin with accompanying report is based on the city's unaudited year-to-date actuals as compared to the fiscal year 2021 adopted budget as amended in fiscal 2021, fiscal year 2021 fourth quarter financial report 214-219.
I second the motion.
My apologies. I'm just trying to deal with my laptop here. We still have another referral,
Yes.
which is 3.3, which I will be pulling up right here. 3.3 was major.
So for the record, Councilman Sanchez, the items that you just mentioned are going to the Operations and Management.
My apologies, yes, to the Operation Management Budget and Government Accountability Committee.
Right.
Okay, and
go ahead.
And 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, and 3.8 to the Health and Human Services Committee, which I will read out loud at this moment. 3.3 is the Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to apply for and accept an operating assistance grant in the amount of $134,500 from the Connecticut Department of Transportation for operation of the city's Dollar Ride program, M2021-024, Connecticut Department of Transportation Dollar Ride program, PDF 220-222. Also, 3.4, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to apply for and accept $95,000 in grants from the NCAAA for the funding period October 1, 2021 to September 30th, 2022 to be used for the Dollar Ride program, M2021-025-NCAAA Dollar Ride program. Also, 3.5, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to apply for and accept $60,000 in grants from the NCAAA for the funding period October 2021 to September 30th, 2022 to be used for the Heart and Home Help Program M 2021-026-NCAAA Heart and Home Help Program. 3.6, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to apply for and accept $35,000 in grants from the NCAAA for the funding period October 1, 2021 to September 30th, 2022 to be used for the Keep On Living program. And I will now we're on 3.7. Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to apply for and accept $275,523.64 in per capita grant funding for the Connecticut Department of Public Health M 2021-028 State of Connecticut Department of Public Health per capita grants fund. And lastly, on this motion, 3.8, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to apply for and accept up to $987,290 in the grant funding from the Connecticut Department of Public Health M 2021-029 State of Connecticut Department of Public Health Ryan White Part B resolution.
Second the motion.
We also have referrals for public hearings.
Yes, we do. The following is item number 3.9, public hearing, Monday, October 18, 2021, CGS 8-24 to the Planning, Economic Development and Housing Committee. And that is Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution approving the disposition of the following parcels to the Hartford Area Habitat for Humanity public hearing, Monday, again, October 18th, 2021, M 2021-030, disposition of city-owned property to Hartford Area Habitat for Humanity. PDF is 238-244, reports of committee. Also, item number 4.12, which is a public hearing, Monday, October 18 as well, 2021, to the Public Dedication Committee. And that is Public Works, Parks, Recreation, Environment Committee, with accompanying resolution requesting to approve superimposing the name of Dr. Craig J. Jennings, PhD, way on Vernon Street at the intersection of Vernon and Summit to be displayed henceforth as Dr. Craig J. Jennings, PhD, way. Public Works, Parks, Recreation, Environmental Committee report. Dr. Craig J. Jennings is a PDF 241-244, space 5, actions on agenda items previously presented. And then following that, which I will continue drawing up.
So on the referred items, we're going to stop at 3.9. Actually, item 4.1, and Corporation Counsel, correct me if I'm wrong, but items 4.1 and items 5.1 are going to be on our postponed calendar because 4.1 is still in the Dedications Public Committee.
Correct, and and through you, Madam President, and 5.1 was just referred back to council in an OMBGA meeting, and so it won't be on the agenda until the next council meeting.
Correct. So items 4.1 and 5.1 will be on the motions to postpone. So Councilman Sanchez, we are now going to take a vote based on the motion that Councilman LeBron did for the referred items until 3.9.
Right. So then it's my understanding through you, Council President, that at this moment, 4.1 will be added to the 5.1 in the postpone.
That is correct. So we're not going to take a motion on the referred items. So with that said, are there any questions? Councilman LeBron.
Yes, to you, Madam President. I see a 6.1 that's also postponed.
Through you, Madam President?
Yes.
So the motion on the table is for the items that are being referred to the various committees and to public hearings.
Yes, thank you.
So I will withdraw the motion for referral of 4.1. And the rest stands.
Duly noted. Are there any other discussions? Any other discussions? Mr. Clerk, if you could please call the roll for the referred items, please. Thank you.
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councilman Sanchez, you have the floor.
Yes, and motion to postpone items number 4.1 and 5.1. And as I read prior, 4.1 is the dedication for superimposing the name of Dr. Craig J. Jenny, PhD, D. Way. And 5.1 is the communication concerning resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to enter into a long-term lease for part of the Quirk West building with the Police Athletic and Activity League of Hartford Incorporated Communication. And that is a item that was in tonight's OMB and GA committee. That was passed and sent to council favorably.
For the record, that was the 6.1, correct?
No, according to what I have here is 5.1.
Okay, let me just quickly verify that, Councilman Sanchez. 6.1 is also postponed, so we are postponing 5.1, which is the PELs, and 6.1, which is the Standing Building Committee. If you could verify your notes. I know we're going back and forth, but.
Yes, I'm looking at my notes here. It's not added on this list, but you're correct, Council President. Item number 6.1 is the ordinance amending Chapter 28, Article 9 of the Municipal Code of Hartford to align Standing Building Committee for School Building Projects with State Law Special Act 01-7, ordinance amending Chapter 28, Article 9 of the Municipal Code of Hartford to align Standing Building Committee for School Building Projects with State Law Special Act 01-7 space 256-259 space 7. That is also postponed.
I second the motion.
Motion has been made and properly second for the postponement of these 3 items. Are there any discussions? Any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And that concludes our council business for this evening. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. As always, be safe and good night.